What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another NBA Rundown. Will it be the final NBA Rundown? Well, actually, no, it won't because we're doing a draft show next Thursday, but it could be the final one. Breaking down games for a while. I'm here with Tyler. We are on the opposite ends of the spectrum of this series, and we will get Tyler's thoughts right away. Tyler, how are you feeling?
I'm not feeling good about tonight. I mean, talk about stacking the deck against the Suns. Game
Yeah, I
6
mean,
on the road, and why not just throw Scott Foster in the mix?
okay, let's start with that because it's dominated the Twitter timeline today. Okay, and my thought is this: they did it on purpose. You have to know the type of response this is going to get, right? Like, why wouldn't they get so? There's how many NBA refs? I don't know, like 40 or 60, right? There's two of them who I know the names before this playoffs, right? That was Tony Brothers and Scott Foster, and then there was the Zach Zarba guy who did the little twist and turn, right, on that one call. So we all know him now, right? So there's 3 out of 60 that we know. Why didn't we put one of them out there? And my only think would be is like sports entertainment, right? I mean, this is right out of Eric Bischoff's playbook. You know, Eric Bischoff, controversy creates cash, right? John Cena comes back Sunday night and Money in the Bank. They can't be outdone. They care about the narrative and the story more than the actual sport. What do you think about Scott Foster being assigned, Tyler? And do you think, because I almost think that there's being a little too much made out of this, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's like too much made out of it because he did game 3, he refed. And don't they they tell you how many refs they have for the finals before the finals start. So I mean
Yeah, something like that, right?
these guys are on rotations. He did game 3, so you knew he was going to do game 6. So we all went to bed last night, and it's like, oh, it's just a matter of time before they post his name as the head referee, and that's what happened. But everyone,
Yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead. I was just saying, as much as I say it changes my handicap, it absolutely it doesn't.
Yeah,
It
I was
doesn't
about to
change it
say,
at all.
me
I
neither.
mean, it's kind of cool, but I mean, I don't really know like how much it changes things. You know, it's like if like a super fan shows up in the crowd, it's I don't really know how much it changes things. So, all right, now that we've got that out of the way, the number one controversy on Twitter, which is refereeing, which, like I said, the only thing that I have to say that I would say definitively about this is it's stupid for the NBA to do this because they're taking once again. I mean, this is right out of the NBA's playbook, taking eyes away from the basketball and the stuff going on court to create narrative, drama, and make things personal. And I don't know who's running this league. Seems like ESPN's running the league more than Adam Silver is. So I'm disappointed in that. But let's go to the game. The Bucks are -5. The total's 222. Did you have a pregame play on the side or total?
I don't have like a lot like I'm gonna bet it play, but I have a weird feeling the Suns win this game and force a game 7. Because how many people are you see lining up to bet the Suns in a game 6 where the Bucks are 9-1 at home and Scott Foster's the head referee?
Mm-hmm.
I think it just lines up as one of them spots where Vegas is just going to clean up and the Suns come out and they win this game.
Right, and at Run Pure Sports, right, we also not only do we do these pregame breakdowns, we also do the live shows. We will be on live tonight with the Sports Keg and various other members of the team, and we'll be talking about the game. And on Saturday's show, I said I think the Bucks win Game 6 no matter who wins Game 5 tonight. Right? Since Saturday, though, the doubts are starting to creep into my mind. It does seem like it is a little bit too easy to just assume the Bucks are going to win because they won the last 3 games. Let's look at what had to happen. Jrue Holiday finally had a good shooting game, right? He hadn't had one before. Can we expect that to happen again? I mean, the guy's exhausted chasing CP3 around, so that is definitely going to be an issue. Middleton is another guy that's completely hit or miss, right? I mean, the guy's so inconsistent. Would it surprise you if he threw up another stinker tonight? I mean, I think he's the key to the game. I think that his prop is directly correlated with whether or not the Bucks win. I think if he goes over, the Bucks win. If he does not have a good game, it's going to be hard for the Bucks, right? And then let's also look at some things that the Suns can improve on: turnovers, rebounding, and Chris Paul has had 2 absolutely terrible games. I know it's fun, and CP slander, and boy, Warriors Twitter's having a great time with that.
Oh, yeah, they are.
But I don't know if we can necessarily count on him having another bad game. And then your guy, DeAndre Ayton's kind of disappeared a bit. What do you make of this? And I see we got our guy, Ron Lofton, in the chat, big Suns fan. So he's going to be real excited to hear some positive things about the Suns. What do you think about some of these players, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton? I think Devin Booker's going to be good no matter what, right?
Yeah, Devin Booker's going to get his tonight no matter what.
Yeah.
But as for the other guys, I mean, Aiton's still averaging what he did in the other 3 series. It's just been a lot quieter, and he shot on a lot worse percentage.
Mm-hmm.
And he's shooting a lot more mid-range shots. He's not just standing at the rim and just dropping these in or just catching alley-oops. But the two you touched on that have to happen if the Suns are going to win is CP3 has to show up better, and they have to shoot more threes. If you look at their 3-point shooting, it's ticked down every game from game one.
They got to get back.
Yeah.
The percentage was ridiculous. So they were 13 of 19 in the last game.
Yeah.
13 of 19.
They only took
Usually
19.
If you shoot 60% or whatever that number comes out to be, I can't do it on top of my head, right? But you should win the game.
Yeah, but to only shoot 19 threes ain't going to cut it. They got to shoot like 30 to 40, I think. I think they shot 43 in that game too.
Yeah, I think that's specifically, and I know I know he's your least favorite guy in the world, and he's another one that the NBA Twitter makes a punching bag. But I think you have to credit Budenholzer. He is doing to the Suns what the Suns did to the Nuggets. And there's like, okay, we'll let your star go off. We'll let him get 40. And we'll let everyone else stand around, not be involved in the flow of the basketball game, and not get the open looks. We talked about it before. Jay Crowder was getting too many open looks, right? Not anymore. They're sticking with him. Those corner threes, they had like over 10 in the first couple games. Only 2 wide open corner threes in game 5. And I think that's specifically because they're like, okay, we can't cover Booker. We're going to let him torch us, and we're going to take away the threes from everybody else. Is that what you're seeing as well? And do you think that, I mean, I don't even know, what do you do to adjust on that? What do you think the Suns need to do here?
Is it just me, or are they running less pick and roll too? And their offense has become ISO heavy since game 2.
It looks
they
like
need
Kobe's
to go back
the coach,
to running
right?
more of the pick and roll.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe would love this offense.
I mean, I get it. Giannis is good at defending that pick and roll, but you have to find that weak link in their lineup and target him every time. Like
especially because when we're not with the core 5, the weak link is there. Connaughton, weak.
Yep.
Teague, terrible. Portis, attackable. Lopez, vulnerable in the pick and roll. I agree with you there.
Yeah, I mean, you have to start getting more into the pick and roll and start targeting these guys and just getting into more of that flow of that motion offense they had in game 1 and 2. And I think those looks will open right back up. Yeah. But when you're playing that ISO heavy game, I mean, they're just going to stand there and let Devin Booker work. And then just like you said before, like these guys just kind of get lost and they just stand there. And then once it's their turn, they're like a deer in the headlights. They just don't know what to do.
Right, and I also think that being involved on the offensive end helps you with energy, and it's the NBA Finals. The energy is going to be there no matter what, but it's just something about being in the flow of the game, I think, helps you get into a rhythm as a team, especially in transition and on the defensive end. So, the new kind of style to, hey, let the number one guy go and shut everyone else down, it's shown to be certainly successful in this playoffs. And in fact, it's pretty much what happened in game 1 and 2 when Phoenix won, right? I mean, didn't Giannis go for, I can't remember game 1, but I know in 2 he went for 40 and they lost, right? And because everyone else was a complete no-show. And in game 1, I think he was in the 30s.
Yeah, I think in game 1 he went for 20 and 17.
Okay. And that was where he didn't seem 100%, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but you could tell he wasn't moving like laterally as good as he
but
normally does.
I would say he's back.
Now he's fine.
Right? I haven't even thought about that injury for 2 games.
Yeah, that injury was thrown out the window after game 1.
I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, I think that might be the most freakish thing the guy's done.
Yep.
So, all right. So I like the Bucks here. I'm laying it. You think the Suns have a chance on the money line? And I'll tell you what, at plus 173, I mean, I can't tell you that's a bad bet. I really can't tell you that's a bad bet at all. Just plug it into my odds converter real quick. 36.6% chance of winning. I mean, these games have come right down to the wire, right? I mean, that steal doesn't happen in game 5. Game 4 comes down to the last 2 plays. 36.6% to break even seems like a pretty good number. But so we're opposite there. But these guys love the picks, they love the props, and they love the way that you've been directing them. Now, Tyler, I talked to you last night because I did a prop article for Bookmaker Review, so I have some props up. But I'd also like to hear your props first, and then we'll talk about mine. What props were you looking at this evening?
On FanDuel, you can bet the alternate threes, and they finally lined Pat Coddington's threes at like -150 for 1.5.
Mm-hmm.
But you could bet 2.5 at +230. I think that's worth a shot. I also think him to score 10 plus points at +136 is a shot. I like Giannis and Devin Booker to go over 35. Booker's +194. Giannis is +130.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could take a stab at Middleton at 30 plus. You're getting that at +210.
Mm-hmm.
The one I really like is you can bet first quarter points on FanDuel.
Mm-hmm.
Aiton's at 6.5 +120.
And they made Phoenix, it. Yeah, they try to get him involved early. I like that a lot. I don't have that.
Yeah, they go right to him in the first quarter. We know we're getting him for 12 minutes unless he gets foul trouble. Mm-hmm. So I like that pick. But outside of those props, I mean, props are getting real tough in these last couple of games because it's just the guys' averages, and these guys are falling right around the number. I mean, I've been wanting to target Brook Lopez's unders for his points, rebounds, and assists, but they've set that number at 16.5, and he's finished with 15, 15, and I think 15 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
So he's finishing just below that number, but it's just too close for comfort. So I'd tread lightly with props here.
Yeah, I agree with you. Let's go back and talk about one that we are correlated on. I took the Pat Connaughton over 8.5, right? Now, Pat Connaughton over has hit every game so far, right? But guess what?
Yep.
It was set at 6.5. Then it went over a couple games. Then it was set at 7.5, right? Now it's set at 8.5. What are his point totals? He's had 8, 8, 11, 11, and 14, or maybe 2 14s. But basically, he's gone over 8.5 3 times and landed on 8 twice. We talked about this with PJ Tucker too, right? Remember how they were putting it right there? Remember they moved it to 5.5 and you kept telling me he kept landing on 5? Right now it's down to 4.5 off his goose egg last game. But I agree with you. I took the Connaughton over. I want to see the threes there. My idea there is he's the fourth option on offense, and he's not afraid to let it fly. It was kind of rough having the Tucker over ticket in my pocket Game 6, and he didn't want to shoot. When they went to Connaughton, he threw it up. He either missed or made it, but he's not afraid to shoot. I love that play there as well. I think Booker goes off again. It seems pretty obvious the offense is built around him. And then let me get your thoughts on another one. So I know that we love the overs, but I took an under here, and I took Mikal Bridges under, and I just went off his home road splits. He would have gone over this number at every single home game and goes under on every single road game. And I just went back through the Clippers series. So it's really only like, a 10-game sample size. But what do you think about Mikal Bridges under? I mean, I think it definitely correlates to playing the Bucks, but do you think he's got a chance to get there?
Yeah, I like that prop. I mean, just off the home away splits alone, he's just a different player at home. Those threes start to drop a lot more for him when he's on that home floor. And when he's away, it's almost like that jump shot just disappears. So what are you getting that number at? Like 12.5, 11.5?
I got under 11.5.
Yeah, I mean, I like that play.
All right. So I went the opposite, though. I went with the veteran role player for my Phoenix over, and that was Jay Crowder, who almost has the opposite splits as Bridges. He's better on the road than at home, right? Normally say role players better at home on the road. So here's my thinking behind that. I feel that being the veteran that he is, having the experience in the league, I don't think that he gets as intimidated, and I think he has a better routine for his pregame, everything going along the road. That's why Crowder has had the exact opposite. So I went under on Bridges and over on Crowder. What do you think about Crowder tonight?
Yeah, I like that. And plus, we know they have to shoot more threes to win this game. Mm-hmm. He's going to be one of the guys who's shooting the threes. And if this does turn into like a blowout, he's going to be one of the guys that just stands out there and shoots threes and just tries to Hail Mary them back into the game. So you could just get this in garbage time alone.
All right. And you said the B word, blowout. And I think that correlates to the total. Do you expect this to be a close game?
I do. I think it's going to be close.
I kind of do too. I don't think it's going to be blowout tonight. I think that there might be stretches where the Bucks,
they're going to have that nervous feeling like of closing this out. Like
Mm-hmm.
everyone thinks it just lines up as them just being they're at home. They're going to close this out right in front of their fans. But
Mm-hmm.
we've seen them have trouble closing out series before. And now it's to close out the NBA Finals. I think they get a little nervous tonight.
Yeah, I think they're actually undefeated in series clinching games under the genius that is Coach Bud. Though, what do you think about that, Tyler?
What was the question?
They have yet to lose a series clinching game under Coach Bud.
I mean,
Going,
it is what it is.
what a great coach! What a leader! What a leader of men that we have here,
What a
Tyler.
leader that stands there with his hands on his hips.
Sorry, we're getting some people jumping in. Had to get you fired up. All right, let's talk. Talk about some of the stuff we see in the chat. Jake says, I could be biased because I've been backing the Suns the entire series. They've done bad things to the bed the last two games. I have futures on them and the Bucks in 7. I ain't betting this game, but lean the Suns. Jake also says he thinks it'll be close. He's not a believer in the Bucks offense. We'll see if Middleton and Holiday blow it up again. Right. What we're saying isn't rocket science, right? I mean, everybody knows that I think the key of the game is how well Middleton and Holiday play. Middleton specifically, I believe they could get away with a poor Holiday offensive performance as long as he brings the intensity on the defensive end. But Middleton has to bring it scoring wise. Ron's a little worried. As a longtime Suns fan, I have a bad feeling they get crushed tonight. I mean, I don't think the Bucks get blown out. I think if it's a blowout, it will be for Milwaukee, but I think it could be close. So, all right, Tyler. Obviously, it's a quicker show today. You know, we're only running down one game, and we've talked about this game, this matchup, right?
Yeah, five times.
Yeah, 5 times already. Not a lot of things are different, right? And every show we say Chris Middleton's key, and it's borne out to be true. On the games where Middleton's shown out, the Bucks have won. The games where Middleton no showed, they haven't won. And he's by far the most inconsistent player. Chris Paul obviously a concern. His scoring has dropped in each game, right
Yep.
after that fantastic game one. Um, so I don't think he's 100%, and we talked about that before. And if you remember of Run Pure, Tyler and I were talking about that in the Discord before Game 5 as well. And I don't think he's 100%. And of course, like I said, all the guys on Warrior Twitter are going to use that to go ahead and dance on his grave if they lose tonight. But it's really tough. So we're going to wrap this up here pretty soon. Did you have any other plays or something that I maybe missed about this game that we need to talk about?
No, that's it. There ain't much
Yeah.
more to touch on that we haven't touched on before.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I love NBA. I love the NBA. I love NBA media. I love NBA podcasts. I love all these other shows that even these other competing companies do with us. I watch them, and we're all getting to be the same way. Like 7-game series, same matchups every night. There's really not a lot of X's and O's we can get into. So just to let everybody know what's coming forward next for us. We will be on live tonight. Tyler and I will be on. We're trying to get some special guests as well. Should be a great time if you want to go ahead and sweat the game with us. Then maybe next Thursday, maybe 2 days from now, we'll have a show. We'll find out tonight. And then for sure, Tyler, we're going to do a draft show next Thursday morning, right?
Yep.
All right. So after tonight, we will go ahead and we're going to start digging into the NBA draft. Tyler, you crushed the draft last year, if I remember correctly, right?
I did NFL draft, not NBA draft. That was Big T that crushed the NBA draft last year.
Okay. Well, we're going to crush it this year. I can't wait. I think this draft is fantastic. You and I have been messaging each other, talking about our favorite prospects, our least favorite prospects. But I think the one thing that we agree upon is that this draft is loaded and that there's going to be, in 3 to 4 years, multiple players from this draft will be contributing members on playoff teams, right?
Yep.
We both agree with that, right? So, I can't wait for that. We will find the props. We're going to find the angles. If we need to get out early because we're worried about the lines moving, we'll do a show on Tuesday. But for sure, we will have a show next Thursday on draft day, and then we will be back with an NBA rundown the day before free agency opens. We'll give you some bets there. Then we will have an NBA rundown after the first couple big signings, because I'm sure it won't be exactly what we expect. And then Tyler and I can kind of break down what we think this means for the league, maybe some futures we can attack right away. And that's basically the schedule going forward. So, NBA is winding down, NFL's ramping up. We might have an Olympics. Who knows? We'll be capping
Yeah.
that if it does, right? I've got involved in international basketball before. Are you going to be betting on the Olympics if it happens?
Yeah, I mean, depending on how many players show up. I mean, right now they only have 8 for the USA,
Right,
so
but I
we
mean
might
we
be
can bet on
targeting
France
some
versus
other
Spain
teams.
too.
Yeah, but I'm not very familiar with some of them lower end players that
Yeah,
haven't
I'm
played
not
like
either, but
NBA ball.
the way that the league's gone international, you'll know like most of the stars on most of the teams. I mean, they might be Louis Scola, but you're gonna
Yeah,
know him. And it's crazy how good Louis Scola is in international ball. Anyways, I'm getting a lot of great stuff in the chat. Thank you, Eric, for all the nice things you've been hanging out, been supporting the show, and we love the interaction with the viewers. It kind of gets us fired up. Tyler and I are kind of more chill, but I know that you guys can really get Travis and JSU going, so I appreciate all the input there. Eric, thanks for joining. I think they do a good job over there on that show as well. Ron is going to be hanging out tonight, which will be great because I love the way that Sports Cake says Ronnie Lofton. So that's going to be a great time. And Emperor KJ, thank you. Fantastic. Obviously, we shied away from the DFS today. I reached out, couldn't get any of the guys. Titles on his way to Deer District to create 10 little titles, even though claims he's not. Travis is getting ready for the MLB slate. JSU has been doing so much content. I thank him for all the help this year. But the great thing is, if you're a member of Run Pure, you're going to be able to get access to all their picks and all their plays as they go live for the final countdown later today. I know I myself will be watching it because my girlfriend has my car and I'm stuck in the house. So maybe make some MLB DFS lineups for myself as well. Mentioning that, if you're not a member, head on over to runpurebets.com. Promo code GetBets, and then you can have access to Tyler's plays, my plays, the Discord, Sports Keg on the NASCAR, UFC, and you'll get Joey Work and JJ on baseball, Score with D on the soccer, on the footy, and on the pitch, and away we go. Final question. Oh, we got 2 questions here. Let's take this one first. Do you think they need to play Bridges 40 plus tonight?
I mean, yes and no. It all depends on game flow, and you could swap Bridges in and out for like a Cam Johnson if Cam Johnson's playing good.
I think Cam Johnson's outplayed Bridges in this series. For
Yeah,
whatever reason, this matchup, he does better. I don't know. I don't know why. To be fair, I'm not the best at watching defensive basketball. I'm kind of basing this more on the offensive end. But don't you think Cam's been a little more explosive this series than Bridges on the offensive
yeah, on
end?
the offensive end, yes. Other than that big game Bridges had, I mean, he hasn't really been that explosive on the offensive end.
Yeah. And Brad's not a fan of Chris Paul. So, hey, Brad, I hope you're right because I gave out the Bucks to win the championship beforehand. And if I cash that ticket, I'm not even going to beat my chest too hard because it took a little bit of luck and a size 18 shoe. I'm ready for to get it. Signed collectibles.
It took a roll. It took a rolled ankle and a size 18 shoe.
Yeah, and all this. I mean, even the Sarge injury, right? I mean, a lot of the things that the Bucks are doing could have been.
When that happened, I had a weird feel. I was worried. I was like, that's gonna be one of them stupid injuries that comes back to bite them in the long run, and it did. They just ran out of size.
When you watch the NBA like we do, and you're not just sitting there going, "Oh, LeBron did this and MJ did this," and you understand depth and you understand the importance of rebounding and how the Bucks were going to attack the offensive glass and how they needed Sarge in there, and having Sarge maybe even at the 4 when they're getting absolutely crushed on the glass could have been a huge help. Because what happened otherwise? Frank Kaminsky minutes? Like, give me a break. The guy got cut from the Kings. He got cut from the Kings. You can't play in the NBA Finals after you've been cut from the Kings. It should just be a rule. Like, after you're cut from the Kings,
they're better off sending
NBA
out the
Finals
rookie Jalen Smith.
They really are. They really are at this point. They really are. So
I mean, what do you like? It's like if you're gonna put Kaminsky out there, what do you have to lose? Like, give Jalen Smith those 5 minutes and see what happens.
And you know what's wild? Do you know who the player that went right after Jalen Smith was?
Tyrese Halliburton.
Can you imagine how much he could have helped this team?
It helped. I think they need more size, though. I mean, another guard, it helps, but yeah. I mean, you need the size.
All right. Question here: if the Bucks win, is this Tyler's last show? No.
No. Yeah, it is because the season's over. It's your last show too, Spread.
No, because you're coming back for the NBA draft show,
Yeah, we'll be back
and
for
then
the
the free
draft show, but
agency
that's off
show,
season.
and then we'll do preseason. I mean, first of all, this offseason's only like 90 days again. I mean, like the free agents are going to sign, and they're going to be in training camp like 3 weeks later. Am I trashing my Kings? Yeah, I mean, that's what we do here. You haven't made the playoffs in 15 years. Not a lot of positive things to say. Ronnie Lofton agrees with me. And real quick, sign collectibles. I saw this earlier, and I didn't want to go at it. Joker and Naomi for Olympics. Right now I would say that, but to be fair, I haven't even done my dive yet. I don't even know like how fast the court they're playing on is. I don't know all the withdrawals. So, fortunately, if the Olympics does go off, we will be doing Olympic shows. I'll have JJ on, AP, Susie. We're going to get all these people and we'll be breaking it down properly. So, right now, it seems quite obvious, but we'll give you a better in depth view as these Olympics kick off here next week. Yeah, Jacqueline Martin's fired up tonight, too. I mean, hey, championship basketball, right? I mean, we're excited. I think it's going to be fun tonight. You didn't see the last show, did you, Tyler?
I didn't.
So Jay says, you know what, Shariah's more interesting than you are, anyways. Why don't you put her on? But then they didn't realize is that if I'm not sitting here on the mic on the camera, I'm going to forget that she's on, and you can hear me screaming with every play. So we might do a little bit of that, but yes, I will definitely be fired up tonight. Even without the financial implications, I'm a big fan of Giannis. I love these quotes, man. I mean, did you hear the one about ego and pride and living in humility?
Yeah.
Did that get you fired up, Tyler? Were you ready to go study some Greek philosophy after that?
I mean, sure, we'll go with that.
Well, thank you. Thank you for humoring me. And thank you, everybody, for watching, guys. We've had a great time doing the show this year. A ton of fun guests. I learned so much about DFS working with these other guys. And not to toot my own horn, but I think that Tyler and I have also shown these guys different angles that we look for in betting and even helped them because, I mean, there was for a while, right? If you came on the show, you shipped that night, right? Remember, Hoop did, AP did, right? JSU did. So, I mean, we definitely worked together and we were using our information and our talents to go ahead and just build a better betting community and a better team. So, having so much fun with that. And, as fun as this is, I can't wait for the draft show because I think that on the NBA that our views line up, a lot. I think that we're wildly opposite here on these draft picks, right?
I can tell you, yeah, we're way opposite on the draft picks.
Yeah. So
You
Tyler
and
will
your
not.
Turkish big man being the best player in the draft.
Yeah, Tyler's not a fan of Jamie's got a send gun, so that's good. That's going to be so much fun. I can't wait for it all. Emperor KJ says, I definitely think this is the final game of the season. There will not be a game 7. And I've wrapped up the show 10 times already, but there's not a lot of game 7s in the finals, right? I mean, like this whole the NBA is going to extend it for money idea. I mean, that hasn't really happened historically, right?
No.
I mean, Jordan never played in a game 7. In the NBA finals, right?
Was the last game 7 in the finals Cleveland and Golden State?
Yeah, in 2018, right?
Yeah.
One of the best games I've ever seen.
Yep.
So they had 2 game 7s, right? And in 2016, they went 7, if I remember right. And then 2017 was a 4-1. And
they only went 7 games once. They went 7 games. 2016.
They didn't go 7 games in 2018. Oh no, KD crushed. My bad.
Yeah, they blasted him every year with KD.
Yeah, excuse me. So
you're just falling into that KD Twitter talk that happened the other night where you were saying that was one of the evenest matchups. Did you see that?
When he went on Spaces?
He was trying to say that it was an even matchup from top to bottom when Cleveland played Golden State.
That whole Spaces thing is weird, dude.
Yeah.
First of all, did you even listen to it? There's a bunch of people like you and me trying to tell Kevin Durant about basketball. And you know what? I'm not even going to give him that much credit because we wouldn't be that stupid to do that. If we had an opportunity to talk to Kevin Durant, we would be listening. We wouldn't be talking. We would be asking questions. They're sitting there trying to tell Kevin Durant about basketball.
They were trying to tell him he was playing wrong.
Yeah, if there was any better advertisement that turned into a terrible advertisement for this idea of Spaces, It was at Spaces where a bunch of 19-year-olds on Twitter tried to tell Kevin Durant about playing hoops. That was just amazing. So, all right, Tyler, maybe we will have one of our own Spaces one of these days, and we'll get Jalen Green and Alperen Sengun in, and we'll learn some basketball. So, guys, everybody, thanks for hanging out. Tyler and I will be back on a Thursday. Is it this week or next week? You will find out tonight. Join us on this same channel tonight. So to find out when we go live, subscribe to the channel. And hey, we've been giving out picks all year. Oh, you know what? We didn't do best bets. You want to do a best bet real quick?
Yeah, I'll do one.
All right, so like the video and we'll do the best bets. So please hit the like right now. Tyler, what's the best bet?
I'm going to go with just the Suns to win the first quarter. You're getting about plus 120 on them. I mean, I think they come out with urgency to win this game. And I think you'll get a nice first quarter out of them. Now, the rest of the game's up in the air. We seen them blast them in the first quarter last game, and then they blew a 16-point lead in less than 12 minutes in that second quarter. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think we'll just stick to betting them first quarter tonight.
All right. Well, that's fine. You can cash both best bets then, because I'm going to take the Bucks -5. I believe that this is their time. I believe that they get it done at home. I mean, basically what I'm saying is bet the Middleton over. I think he shows up tonight. You get cash or whatever they want to call it. Bucks and 6. Title has 10 children. I think it all goes down tonight. So that's my best bet for this evening. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Jay, Tyler, I, and unexpected guests will be on tonight watching the game. Hopefully you come hang out then, because I love talking to you guys in the chat. So, J.D. Henders makes some good points, about Mikal Bridges, playing good defense, and Torrey Craig not needing minutes. I completely agree with both of those. So hopefully you will hang out, and the rest of these guys in the chat giving us all the positive mojo. We will see you this evening.